Alchemy is basically turning one thing into another, but realizing that you are both. You are not just one or the other, you are both. And you have the power to change. Play a chime real quick. Welcome. Okay. Alchemy. What is alchemy? So alchemy is basically turning one thing into another. Back in the day, they used to turn lead into gold. I don't know if they probably still do that. But let's today use lead as an example for ego and trauma, and gold as for higher self and aligned action. I am a big believer in all the bad things that happen to you, you can use as power and fuel to shoot yourself into your highest timeline. And I'm gonna break that down a little bit more. Every single emotion has an opposite, a polar opposite. So depression, happiness, fear, excitement, every emotion has a polar opposite, and you can turn it into whichever one. Energy is always moving. We can stop it, but it's still moving, if that makes sense. Nothing is solidified. Every emotion you can turn into a different emotion. Even with some substances as well, like turning lead into gold, you can turn one thing into another. What if all the bad things you experienced is really fuel and material for transformation? In this video, we're going to be talking about how to turn lead into gold, how to transform your trauma and ego into the most authentic version of you. I already talked about this in one of my shorts, but I want to bring it up again because it really opened my eyes a lot more. It's one thing to know this information, but it's another thing to really apply it into your life and watch the changes. So a couple weeks ago, I was super stressed out. Let's be real, I haven't worked in months, okay? And I've been managing to manifest or just realize really that I pull in a specific amount of money. My brain is wired to believe I can hold X amount of money, okay? And with no job or nothing, I have been pulling in that consistent amount, and it's about the amount of a minimum wage job. So I realized, like, okay, I am the center of creation. I haven't had a job. I'm not doing things to get this money, but yet money is still coming in because that is my set point of how much I know I can hold, how much my body has the capacity to hold. I was looking for a job, and for about, I want to say 3 weeks, I was so stressed out about it. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do this, I want to do that. I have all these goals, and how am I about to afford all of these things at once? I need a job. So I get on Indeed, I get on looking around places that are hiring near me. I'm like, sending in applications, sending in emails, sending in calls, like trying to get my foot in the door somewhere. And for like 3 weeks, nothing was happening. Nothing was moving, nothing was happening. And I was just getting more stressed out by the day. I was like, oh my gosh, like what am I gonna do? Time is ticking. Like I wanna do this, I wanna move, I want a car. Like there's so many things that I want, and it all depends on this one opportunity or this one job. At this point, I had put in at least 50 or more applications, okay? I had been applying everywhere. And I just finally woke up one day and I was like, I need to do something today. Like this needs to happen today. And I know that your external reality is a reflection of your internal world. So I was like, okay, where am I pushing this away? And it clicked. I was like, you know what? I have been pushing it away because I keep saying like, oh, I need a job. Oh, I want a job so bad. I was so desperate for a job that the desperation is really lack energy, and it was pushing it away from me. So the more that I wanted it, the more that I thought it wasn't gonna come and I was just waiting, the more was prolonging the waiting stage of getting an actual job. So what I did that morning was I sat there and I thought, okay, we have been completely fine without a job. Like, it's not that serious. I don't need a job. I just would like one so I could have more of the things that I want. I wasn't so desperate about it. I wasn't clinging on to the idea of needing something so bad and putting out the energy that I didn't have it. I called back my energy. When I did this, when I just took a deep breath and thought, like, this will come, it's really not something in my control. I don't need to control this. I have these dreams and they are going to happen in divine timing. When I let the universe decide the time, and I was like, okay, obviously me wanting and me applying and me calling, that's not helping anything, because I've been doing it for weeks now and it hasn't helped at all. So let me try a different approach and do nothing. Just say fuck it. I have planted the seeds already. Now I just need to sit back and watch them sprout. Let the universe, the sun, water, let the world take control of the rest, because I've done my part. I don't need to do the other part. And that's where a lot of our manifestations get slowed down and stopped, is because we feel like it is all on us to make our desires happen. And it is 50-50. We take the aligned action, we know that this is where we're going, and events will line up perfectly to get us there. As soon as I let that go, I got 2 job offers within that week. So the technique that I used was literally 4 minutes in my bed, just changing the thought around what I was thinking, changing the emotion around what I was thinking. I turned desperation into relaxation. Instead of clinging and instead of bracing and waiting and putting so much pressure on myself, I let that go. Alchemy usually happens in 3 stages. Usually stage 1 is breakdown. You will be maybe burnt out, maybe facing your shadow, facing some trauma coming up, feeling stuck, lost, or confused, burnout, anxiety, confusion. This can be stage 1, breakdown. When you're feeling all these negative emotions, it's not something to just weigh you down. It's information. It's information for you to look at. You look at this information, okay, I'm feeling super burnt out, I'm confused, I'm lost in life. Okay, cool. That's stage 1. That's how you know that's how you know you're on your way to alchemy. Okay? Identifying the breakdown or the block in your life. Stage 2 is purification. So this is going to look like a little bit of clarity, awareness. You become aware of where this belief is stemming from. For me, I looked at what I was doing that wasn't making me any progress. So it can also be reflection, letting go of beliefs. That can also be one. Looking at your beliefs and where it stemmed from and seeing what needs to be rearranged, what is bringing you to this situation that you are in right now. Maybe now you're starting to look at these issues in a different light and you're giving forgiveness and reflecting on it. This can be a sign that you're in stage 2 of purification. And 3 is integration. And integration can look like transforming that, seeing actual change, like the jobs reaching out to me as soon as I had let go and reflected. Living more authentically, having more inner peace. In order to see life change, you also have to change, specifically your mindset and your actions. The world is constructed up of three different things: your mind, body, and spirit. So you got to get your mind in order, you got to get your body in order, and then spirit will get everything else in order for you, which is still essentially you, but outside force, you're both. And that actually kind of goes full circle, because the next thing I was gonna say is that we are both the alchemist and the material matter. So we are what we feel, think, and believe, but we are also the transformer in these materials. Like, you are sadness, but you are also happiness. You're never just one thing, you are both. You are the gold and you are the lead. The lead is the gold is the lead. But the difference is one is like not as valuable as the other. It really just takes us looking at something from a different perspective. Everything in life can be alchemized and transformed into something negative or positive. Let's say a breakup you're going through. That hurts, and that could be looked at as like, damn, life is going wrong, but also it's leading you to so much self-discovery. There's so much positive to be gained within that negative as well as failure. Failure can be looked at as like, I should never try again. It can be discouraging, or you can use it as redirection. It is redirecting you a different way. You can see that this way doesn't work. Find another way that does. And anxiety, guys. Anxiety. I used to have such bad anxiety. I still do have anxiety, but not as bad as I used to have it before. And it's because I started seeing anxiety as a tool to deeper awareness. Anxiety is basically your mind running through the past or the present, through the past or the future, sorry. It could bring you deeper awareness when you're really paying attention to your anxiety and learning how to get back in your body within it. And also what triggers you. So everything in life. I even have a book by Sheena. Oh, I forget her name. I might have to link it down in the back. But she has a book that goes through every single emotion and the opposite of it and how to transmute it. So it's beautiful. I have to put that down in the description. I also forget what it's called. I think it's called Body Talk. I want to say it's called Body Talk. So yeah, guys, alchemy is basically turning one thing into another, but realizing that you are both. You are not just one or the other. You are both. And you have the power to change. I hope you learned something to incorporate within your life to make it better. And yeah.